Have you been seeing a lot of homophobic wrestling signs?
Well, you tell me if this is homophobic or not.
Okay.
John Cena eats corn the wrong way.
I sleep better when I'm naked. Why can't the flight attendant understand this? Guys, these are bangers.
So good.
These are bangers.
So good.
It's so good.
So good.
Oh, he's so funny. At Starbucks, I'm going to be exclusively going up to the barista and going, hey, can I get a Chad Gable, please? Mm-hmm. And they're like, what is that? It's a Grande Americano with the whitest milk that you have.
But it's masked as something else.
But it is masked as something else. And they're like, oat milk? Yes. It's bad to just assume that a little person you come in contact with is a Make-A-Wish kid. That's not a good look.
And if it is a Make-A-Wish kid, that is the only interaction you decided to have with them?
A noogie and like an attaboy? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the My Wife Loves Wrestling podcast. This is my wife.
Hi, that's me.
And I'm Miles Weber.
I'm Heather Weber.
And we're going to talk about wrestling.
Let's do it.
You have notes.
I have so many notes.
You have notes, yeah.
So
she was like, we got to record one of these podcasts soon.
I'm a Virgo, so I love my lists.
Yes.
But so much happened not on Raw or SmackDown
Not
that
on
I
Raw or
have to
SmackDown.
talk about.
There was like all the behind the scenes stuff.
I mean, I guess like the first one is like technically it was on, I think, Raw last week. But other than that.
Yes, I remember you being like, remind me to write this down. Mm-hmm. And I was like, write it down now.
Yep.
And you did. So yeah, you had a lot of things. So we're going to be breaking down mostly things that were in my wife's notes. And since this is the My Wife Loves Wrestling podcast, I feel like that's the best way to steer today's episode and most likely every episode that we don't have guests on. So that being said, what is the first thing that, I mean, I don't want to say tickled your fancy because that's not what happened.
No, it did not tickle my fancy.
Struck a nerve.
But going into Pride Month, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about fancy tickling going into Pride.
Missed a hair. No, so my first one was a pet peeve. I mean, and we've seen it a lot, I want to say, in wrestling in general, but I feel like I've seen it more this year than any other year when it comes to wrestling signs, and it is the homophobic wrestling signs.
Have you been seeing a lot of homophobic wrestling signs?
Well, you tell me if this is homophobic or not.
Okay.
John Cena eats corn the wrong way.
See, now when people say that, are they talking about like this way?
It's definitely a blowjob innuendo.
As opposed to like sideways?
There is no way.
Or are they talking about like maybe these people have real strong opinions on shaving corn off of the cob and eating it with a fork? They're like, that's the wrong way.
And that's what you think John Cena does in this?
He seems like, yeah, that man wears like a 3-piece suit to bed.
Fair.
So,
but I've seen it like on other heels, like Dirty Dom and like.
I bet that John Cena even uses a fork and knife for his candy bars.
Probably pizza.
Definitely pizza.
Definitely pizza.
So yeah, it eats corn the wrong way. Yeah, I guess that is kind of a homophobic thing to say, which again, I stand by the point of the bit that I wrote on my special on 90s Kind of Love, now streaming on Amazon Prime and Apple TV and YouTube TV. And you could also listen to it on Spotify, so you can hear this bit. And by the time this podcast comes out, that clip will probably be out online anyway, so you can go to my social media and watch it there. But I stand by my bit about pro wrestling being the most inherently bisexual activity that human beings participate in. Mm-hmm. And so the irony of making a sign, having to go to Joann's or Michael's to make a sign, to say an opinion about the way in which your favorite mostly naked man eats his corn, mm-hmm. to kind of insinuate that he's so gay, that's so gay, like, because you know that's how they say it.
Yeah.
Is just so, your finger's so far removed from the pulse, and I know where your finger is. I know where it's at. But yeah, I just think that it's so ridiculous mm-hmm. to be homophobic in the pro wrestling space.
I mean, it's homophobic across the board, but absolutely. But it's also just like, why is it if this person we don't like is a heel, that means they're gay? Like, I don't like that. And then also, let's be real, gay guys aren't the only ones who give blowjobs. So
they're also not the only ones that eat corn.
Facts. So it's just kind of like this.
So yeah, it's like, what do you? I mean, but it's also like, I feel like when people say that sucks or you suck, I think that's a shortened like way of saying you suck dick, right? Like, isn't that kind of
I
where
mean, that's what DX leads us to believe.
suck it? So yeah, and so anytime somebody's like, you suck, it's like, that's kind of what you're insinuating by you suck. I think it just becomes so common to say now that we've separated it and it's become its own entity of saying that thing's bad. But I mean, like, it's like when, you know, a lot of people still say it. A lot of homophobic people say it. But like how back in the day, everybody was like, that's gay. Whatever's not good or they do not like or they think it's dumb, they're like, gay. Like, so I think it all kind of also comes from that as well. But yeah, homophobia in general, what are we doing? Homophobia at wrestling on a sign. You had to take marker out and write that, homie. Like, you had to decorate.
Well, and it's always a guy holding that sign. It's never
Always.
a girl. Like,
No.
It's never a woman being like dirty dog.
I mean, like, then do all women eat corn the wrong way? Like, I mean, that's such a weird way. And honestly, if you can eat corn that way, good for you. That's impressive. It's really impressive.
Honestly, it's probably less messy because it's not like all up on both sides of your face.
Yes.
It's just straight down the middle.
Very economical. Very
So-
clean, neatly OCD way to eat
You don't need to
corn.
get like the holders to
But-
like hold each side. You can just
It's the least blowjob-like thing that we do phallically, though, right? I think, like, you know, you eat a popsicle. That's more like BJ tendency. Eating corn the wrong way, you're using teeth, my guy.
you're in and then holding on coming out.
Like, you were just like raking like a dolphin does on other dolphins when they're in heat. You were just raking your teeth against that, and so it's just like it's having an opinion in a weird way on like the way that you give gay blowjobs is bad, which is inherently, I think, a very closeted thing to say. If you have an opinion about the manner in which this ripped guy who could literally clean and jerk and press you over his head, quote unquote, eats corn the wrong way, you've picked like the gayest way to have an opinion on the matter. So the entire way you're going about it now, I think like homophobia has come to such a point where it's just, you're so logically cornered. There's no way for you to get out of it.
Yeah.
Like, at a baseline, you thought of John Cena blowing someone. That was the thought in your head. And then you're like, I'm going to make a sign to insinuate this thought that was in my head that I had. Which is gay, bro.
Well, and like for you to make a sign about something, it's not like a one-off thought.
No.
You know?
No.
So, granted, to be fair, but I was 12. Follow me on this.
Okay.
When I went and saw, I think I was in between 10 and 12. We went and saw WCW, rest in peace, live. And because I was a kid, I couldn't curse on my signs. And so I made a sign that said, Eric Bischoff, kiss my asparagus.
Kiss my asparagus. Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
granted, I had never had a thought about him kissing asparagus until I made that sign. But it was me trying to get out of cursing.
I mean, like, if he just gives it a peck, you know.
Maybe
but
he eats it the wrong way.
He eats
I
the
don't
asparagus
know.
the wrong way. That's how I eat asparagus, though. I'll take it.
I know.
Who eats it sideways?
Well,
Who's just
I
like,
think the wrong way is sideways, right?
yeah, the wrong way. The wrong way is sideways. Yeah. But even then, eating it that way, you're kind of inviting a second person to come in and like.
Oh,
you
like
know.
a Lady in the Tramp thing?
Yeah.
With
kinda.
asparagus?
Yeah. This is the night.
It just can't be cooked too much because then it'll just flop.
Yeah, this is true. This is very true. Which happens sometimes when you're eating certain things the wrong way. Okay, yeah. That's a very cute 12-year-old way back in the early 2000s at that point to say, kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's how I got away with it.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, you get away with that sign. If the person could get away with the eating corn the wrong way sign, I think you can get away with that sign.
Well, mine wasn't homophobic, though.
No, it was not. No, it was not. So yeah, stop bringing your homophobic signs.
People are
Check
trying to
your homophobia at the door.
People are trying to be funny and they're not.
Greased up men wrestling in their underwear. You're not exactly in the safe space for homophobia, homie. That doesn't make any sense. What are we doing? Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. What was next?
So
on your
people that
docket?
are funny.
Yes. Oh, this is gonna be great. Yes.
I feel like I should pull up some of the posts though, so I can like reference them. But
Yeah.
if you don't, I don't know if he posts it on other things as well. But I at least follow Al Snow on Facebook.
Which I still need to.
And if you don't,
As I look for my
pause
phone.
this, go to your phone, follow him,
You
come
need
back.
to go follow Al Snow and read his posts on Facebook.
I will
And
pull up some because they're amazing. So you
He's
can.
very funny. And again, we talked about this though. We talked about go figure. Oh, you mean the man who in the 90s was like, what does everybody want? Head. What does everybody need?
This is just
Head.
a blowjob episode, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Unintentionally.
What is it's channeling the Attitude Era. What does everybody love? Head. You mean that guy's funny? Go figure, right? So you've been on just a whole campaign this week going, this is the Al Snow like Facebook post or tweet of the day rather that it is. He's probably on Twitter. We're not on Twitter though.
Yeah, we're not on Twitter.
But yeah, his Facebook, he is posting. I mean, he posts a lot of stuff, but I mean, like,
Yeah, I mean,
the
he
jokes.
posts like OVW stuff, obviously. But
Got to, because he's in OVW. So yes, go ahead. That's a good one.
Jessica just said the phrase "bear with me" when applied to me could mean "please be patient" or "the heist at the zoo was a success."
It's great.
So good.
Love it. No notes.
I'm currently writing a book about my love of dogs and gardening. It's called Bitches and Hoes.
And it's funny because, like, with these, if you hear him talk lately, like, it's just this very
I mean, you should
raspy
probably like read it in an Al
RFK
Snow voice then.
junior type voice.
Because I can't do those.
Let's see. What's a good one? That one.
All right, buddy. How's the single life treating you? I found is not a good thing to say to a guy at his girlfriend's funeral.
That's so good. It's not a good impression. I can't rasp my voice unless I have been screaming for a couple of hours.
Mm-hmm.
Like the end of my second show I do on like a Saturday, I'll sound like Al Snow.
Finish there.
I sleep better when I'm naked. Why can't the flight attendant understand this?
Guys, these are bangers.
So good.
These are bangers.
So good.
It's so good.
So good.
Oh, he's so funny.
I think if we can get you, him, and Mick Foley touring together.
We're gonna bury Mick Foley. Like, I mean, Mick's funny and he's got good stories,
Yeah.
but oh god, Al is just
He's so funny.
He's so
and I didn't,
he's so funny.
like you said, you should know from like the 90s and What Does Every Want, but I didn't know he was this funny.
He's
and,
really funny.
And I love that he posts like multiple times a day because when
yeah.
I am on Facebook and it pops up, like it's just a little bit of joy into my day.
It's a great breakup in the feed. I mean, that's the thing I do miss about Twitter is just, there was always the chaos of the world of people tweeting about this is terrible and I hate this person and this sucks and and you could doom scroll forever. And then there would be one just non sequitur in the middle of it all. That
I mean, that's why you followed Iron Sheik.
May he rest in power. Like, following the Iron Sheik on Twitter was like, when he died, that was my final, like, I mean, Elon taking it over was my final nail in the coffin. But, like, especially I doubled down on being happy I got out when I did when Iron Sheik died, because I'm just like, the best part about Twitter was Iron Sheik's tweets. Just like, all these terrible things happen in the world, and then Hulk Hogan, you son of a bitch, like, I fucked you in the ass and make you humble.
I
Like,
was worried about saying blowjob.
you were worried about saying before this, she's like, can we say blowjob? I'm just like, this is a podcast. I mean, I can always bleep stuff out, but at the end of the day, people are gonna hear what they're gonna hear.
I feel better now.
I mean, I'm quoting the Iron Sheik. So
I mean, I can quote a lot of people if we're gonna go down that.
I mean, yeah, no, I mean, it's still cursing, because then at that point, like, it's like, oh, well, I didn't say that word. I just sing along to
That's
rap
like
music
when
in the
Robin
car with the
says
windows
something
rolled
we
up.
say. He's like, "Well, I'm just saying what you said,
Yeah.
so it's okay." So
No, doesn't make it okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it okay. So, but yeah, no, Iron Sheik was a great way to break up all the craziness. Is just him calling somebody a punk ass jabroni. and meaning it. That dude was kayfabe till the day he died. So good for Iron Sheik. Love me some Iron Sheik.
Yeah.
And love me some Al Snow. So Al Snow, if you're listening, you know, you're doing the Lord's work out there.
And
You are
he
hilarious.
wants to go on tour with you. So
And I'd love to
let's
go on
do
tour
it.
with you. Let's
do it.
join forces. Let's do the Miles Weber and Al Snow tour. And yeah, man, it's a great way to break up all the OVWing that you're doing. So I think this is a collaboration that can move some tickets in a positive direction. I will bring a mannequin head. And we can have the mannequin head be on a stool next to us. And
If that's what he wants.
If that's what you want.
Maybe he's trying to separate himself away from Head.
I mean, he might be trying to separate himself from Head. That is very, very true. That is very, very true. So whatever you want to do, Al, my DMs are open. And so is my heart.
Slide in 'em.
Slide into my DMs. Because, so funny. Undefeated. Love me some Al Snow. Okay. All right. What do you have next?
Well, since it's perfect because you said the word, speaking of jabronis,
Oh, boy.
we
yeah,
listened.
It's going to be good.
my segues are on point today.
They are.
We listened to Hornswoggle, and I always mess
On
up
Chris
his-
Lemvey's podcast.
Thank you, because I always mess up how I say his name. The extra V's in it, like I get tongue-tied.
He's Canadian, you know. I mean, there's going to be some. It's the Vliet part. That's like the last name.
Yeah. So,
CVV.
yeah. Like the code on the back of your card.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Oh my God. Your security code, Chris Van Vliet. Now I'm going to ask people that way. I'm going to be like, hey, what's your, give me the zip code in your card and the Chris Van Vliet on the back. I need that. So that's what I'm going to be saying for people's credit card orders. And now at Starbucks, I'm going to be exclusively going up to the barista and going, hey, can I get a Chad Gable, please? And I'm like, what is that? It's a grande Americano with the whitest milk that you have.
But it's masked as something else.
But it is masked as something else. And they're like, oat milk? Yes.
Yep. Or half and half.
Half and half. Ooh, yeah, it is half and half, isn't it? Okay. All right, go ahead. Say more.
So Hornswoggle talking about the first time he met The Rock.
Yeah.
And trying to remember which WrestleMania it was, but it was a number.
You don't say. Yeah. It was a number. All right. They started numbering those. I thought they were just letters.
I know. Strange, huh? And he was back for something. He was like, I think it was one of the ones he was hosting. I think he was hosting that WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And so Hornswoggle was waiting in Gorilla. And The Rock came in. And he shook his hand and he's like, hi, my name's Dylan. I just want to thank you for everything you're doing, coming back to the company. And like this very nice,
Very sweet.
very sweet, eloquent speech. And he just pretty much gave him a noogie and said, did you have fun there, buddy? Or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And then walked away.
And then later, Hornswoggle confirmed with, I'm forgetting which wrestler he confirmed with, but he confirmed with a wrestler.
Well, I know he talked to Kofi because Kofi sent
was Kofi.
90 text messages while he was driving.
And yeah, Kofi confirmed that The Rock thought that Hornswoggle was a Make-A-Wish kid. Which, and
No matter which way you slice
no
it.
matter what way you slice it, it's not good.
No.
Like, it's bad to just assume that a little person you come in contact with is a Make-A-Wish kid. That's not a good look.
And if it is a Make-A-Wish kid, that is the only interaction you decided to have with them?
a noogie and like an attaboy? That's what we're doing?
Get outta here.
Like, what is happening?
And there's
here?
a reason why Cena did more than The Rock did, because
There
The
is.
Rock doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't. That's the worst wish of all time.
Yeah.
Like, I would not wish for that. I don't want the Rock to condescend me. No.
No.
That's not my final wish.
No.
Absolutely not. So yeah, that's a ridiculous way to ultimately you have fun, buddy, and then like just walk away. Like, what are we doing, man? There's not much these days that The Rock will do that we're in favor of. So, I mean, I'm counting down the days until we get to see whatever it is he did in the live action Moana.
Well, that's a good segue into the thing I guess he did do right is that we found out in listening to Cody Rhodes' podcast with his wife, segues are on point, let's go,
You're killing it. You're killing it.
that he invited his family to
The Moana 2 premiere?
the premiere
Yes.
in Hawaii.
Yes.
So apparently, he did that right.
He did. He
So-
did do that right. you know. But on the subject of that podcast, you know who didn't do something right?
Mr. Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, which has to be a name that I know he came up with it because of his father being the American Dream and him being the American Nightmare. It is also probably what you can say to sum up him and his wife's banter. It is, in fact, an American Nightmare. That dude, like, put his foot so far down his throat the entire time.
Like, I think it came out of his asshole and then back in his throat again.
Man, it was a
and
full
we could
pretzel.
start with what he said, that she should be called the African American Nightmare, because that's a thing you should say.
I think
to your wife.
I think she brought that up
Okay.
first, and then quickly was like, that's not good.
Yeah.
And then he was like, that's probably not good either.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there was all kinds of stuff that he just kept saying. He called her like big in some capacity, which was weird. And then asked her a question about her boobs.
So
and
let's talk. No, I got things to say. Let's talk about it. His question.
So if I'm like, what do you want to talk about? You're like, this is what I want to talk about.
His question to her was essentially, why did you get your boobs done if you're not going to show them off to everybody? And I can't think of more of a man thing to say
Because
with your face hole.
Because that is what men would do if we got our tits done. We would just burn all of our shirts. We would just like, hey, look what I did, everybody. Here we are. And then we would get mad for people for not making eye contact with us. We would definitely play the my eyes are up here
Yeah.
card all the time, constantly.
So that was what he said and started that conversation, which that's your wife.
It's your wife. Yeah, why?
You shouldn't say that to a woman in general, but that's your wife. That's
your
the
wife.
mother of your child.
Exactly. Exactly.
Not the thing you say.
No.
Can we not think that just because a woman gets her boobs done, it's not just for everybody to see?
I mean, it's for you, right? I mean, like, it's what you want, you know?
And I'm sure there are some women, and that is probably a reason for them.
Probably.
But I would like to think, especially her being a married woman and a mother to a girl, that's probably not her reason.
Well, and I mean, in the story, which she was so trying to tell that story so hard, and the longer it went where it didn't involve tits.
Yeah, he just kept interrupting her. This has to do with your boobs?
You sure this has to
Let
do with your
her
boobs?
tell
And
her
it's just
story.
like, dude, you just let her tell the story. Like,
He interrupted her through that podcast
The whole time.
so many times,
Yeah.
but especially that story. Like, we're talking about your tits, and she's like, I know we're talking about my tits.
Yeah.
Let me get there.
let me get there.
Let me get there.
Let me get there.
So
She's like, I'm 40.
it's
Let me get there. Let me
she
build
is
this
your
bridge.
guest on the podcast. It is your job to listen to the stories.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen to the
So-
story. But eventually she got around to the point which was like Chelsea Green was with her at Disneyland. And they met Neil Patrick Harris and his husband. And she didn't. Chelsea Green didn't get into the mix of the conversation or anything, and she was upset at herself for not doing that. And they're like, I mean, like, it's hard for people to have the conversation with you because look, Chelsea, and so like her tits are always on parade, and so like that's where her point was, which is just like people, and he even agreed. He was just like, oh yeah, with Chelsea, I constantly have to like look up and be like, hey, how you doing? Like I gotta. He's like, we call them a ceiling looker or something like that, is what he said, where you got to look at the ceiling to be respectful because their tits are just on, you know, parade for everybody to see. So versus, yeah, I mean, I don't know if hers are fake. I mean, she's putting them up and not all the way out there, but out there to a degree. So yeah, man, I mean, it was just,
And
it
that's
was a
her
mess.
choice, but it's shame on Cody for assuming that that's what all women want to do.
Yeah,
So
yeah, is just be constantly showing their boobs and things like that. Yeah, like you think like if guys got like a dick extension surgery, they'd just be like, all right, I'm not wearing pants anymore, like, or you know, no more zipping
I
up
mean,
the fly
I think
for me.
you'd have to like go to like a big and tall store. I don't know what it'd be
Big,
called.
big and tall. I don't know. Welcome to Double Big and Tall. So we've got you covered from the waist down.
I don't know what you would call it, but I mean, but I feel like if that were an option for guys to do, then a store would be made
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you think of like how many brands have to make special bras for women. So
There should be a store like that now. Like, I'm just laughing because this is not wrestling related. This is like when I worked at a gym in my youth, like when I was young, late teens, early 20s. I worked front desk at a gym, and there was a guy who used to come in. He used to play tennis all the time there,
Okay.
you know, and he was always so like well spoken and like just so polite. Like just seemed like what if you had to sum up what a gentleman was to somebody.
Was his dick his racket?
Dude, it could have been. Like, I mean, that thing.
I was actually just trying to do the Cody thing to you and
I
get
know,
to the dick
and just
point.
get to the dick
but you're
point.
Right.
Just get to the point of the dick, eh? And then he did it the wrong way. So no, he never played doubles. It was just him and his dick. Because that thing was massive. Like, in him on a hot day in the summer, like, the shorts were just, even me and like one of my coworkers, when he came in one day, we were like, you see that thing, right? Like, he comes in and has to use the bathroom, and it's just like, dear Lord, man. Like, he had to like fold it over. Like, it looked bunched in a couple of, like, there were a couple of knots. Like, that thing, it just, that's where I'm like, that can't be comfortable. Where it's just
so he's probably in Boy Scouts to figure out how to like tie that thing.
I don't even think they could figure out how to tie that knot. I mean, like, that's, I don't know if that's a Windsor knot, if you know how to tie a tie or what, but I mean, like, oh my goodness. That thing was just tangled and weaved, and he had the lasso of truth from Wonder Woman in his underoos. Like, that thing was insanity. So, yeah, I mean, if you're out there and you got like a Liam Neeson-sized dong, my heart goes out to you, man. That's got to be bad for your back and like uncomfortable in every single possible situation of just sitting down, I don't know how you play tennis. You got to run around with that thing on. That is insanity. So, I mean, to all those guys out there, we hope that a store is open for you, inversely, because you are essentially, I guess, the male version of whatever Cody Rhodes' wife is going through.
You know what I think, though? I think a woman will invent the store. I don't think a guy will make the store. I think a woman will.
A woman will?
A woman will be like, I am sick of hearing men bitch about when they run and this happens, so I'm going to do something so they bitch less. So it will be a woman trying to fix it. So.
Yeah. Guy just looks like he's got a fanny pack on the front, but he doesn't. It's just, where's your watch? I've got a couple on, actually. Dear Lord. Yeah, no. So, but I mean, from big dicks to big dick, like Cody Rhodes you're not a fan now, I think.
I mean,
well, it's like we talked about, there's couples out there that their love language is just busting balls. And so they give each other shit. They kid because they care. Like, that's just certain couples that just are constantly jabbing at each other. And it feels like maybe they're that couple that they get off and giving each other shit and then coming back around, and maybe it means more when they are sweet, because there was a moment where she was really sweet to him on the podcast, and you could tell he was getting like kind of choked up at the support and everything.
about the Stardust thing.
Yeah, so supporting him even though he was Stardust, because she loved the character genuinely. And he's just like, that's why you're my wife. And so yeah, I mean, he even got choked up when he was trying to introduce her, you know, because, you know, he's such a fan of just her as a human being as I am with you. And so yeah, man, I mean, I think they're just that couple that they just give each other crap. You know, that's not us. You know,
And I can respect that, but just like, let her talk. Like, it's your podcast, bro. Like, it's your platform. You get to talk all the time.
Yeah, I feel like he talked over her more than
Well, and she even
any other
said
guest.
at the beginning of the podcast, this is my time to like get my stories out and my side of the things. And it's like, stop rushing her along. When she gets to her tits, she gets to her tits. Don't worry about it. So, and if she doesn't, who cares? Listen to your wife's stories.
Get to the breast meat of the story.
So,
Fair enough.
so yeah. But I mean, you know, I feel like you can point to almost any wrestler, and there's things I enjoy and things that I don't as much. It's not, or as we like to teach our son, it's not my favorite.
No.
But you know, I wish he would have let her talk more. But I do like that when she made her end of the world team, which is the strangest team
Her
I think
Apocalypse
I've
stuff.
ever
Oh my god, that was
heard.
the weirdest team. She had Michelle Kwan, the figure skater,
Yep.
on her team.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Friedman, because she's just a fan of him. I'm
Her
just like, I don't
daughter.
think. What do you think is going to happen in the apocalypse? Like, you think penguins are going to take over, and we're just going to need some solid narration? Is that what you think is going to happen in the apocalypse at the end of the world?
But it
So,
was entertaining that Cody wasn't on her team.
I mean, yeah, and he didn't put her on his team.
Yeah, but she went first, and so I think his was kind of
I mean, and his was his family.
and Randy.
And Randy Orton.
Understood.
Yeah, you got to put Randy Orton on your apocalypse team.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good one to have for a lot of reasons. The RKO's out of nowhere are definitely gonna. I mean, that's how you take the zombies' heads off, right? Like,
That makes sense. Yeah.
breaks them down
Mm-hmm.
at a time. Do you have an apocalyptic team that you would assemble? Conversely,
I mean, I'm sure I do. I haven't thought
Okay.
about it, but I'm sure I do. I mean, it's hard because like you'd want like somebody that's good at multiple things and not just all. You want like a walk off the earth equivalent.
that's a reference right there. She's referring to a band, a Canadian band that we really enjoy, who went viral in like the 2010s for doing a lot of fun cover songs on YouTube, and they covered somebody that I used to know, where they all play the same guitar. And they had, may he rest in power, Mike, the beard guy, on there, just kind of staying off the side. And he kind of became so much of what the band was known for. It was like, oh, yeah, the fun band with the beard guy. And so, yeah, they play every instrument.
Yeah, they all play every instrument. They all sing. They all do everything.
So you would need, they're very like the Swiss Army knife of musicians, where they play everything, even things that aren't instruments. They will find a way to play it. So yeah, you do need people in your apocalypse team. I'm afraid to ask you that because I have no concepts of who. I think I've just come to terms with the apocalypse happens. I'm like, I'm done. Like, I don't make it. I go out. If this is The Walking Dead, I'm out in the first episode or two. Like, I don't make it to Negan or whoever his name was with the baseball bat. I don't get that far.
No?
So, no.
Okay.
No. Well, I'm not useful. Like, I'm funny. I can't fix a whole lot of things
people
without
entertained.
YouTube. I keep people entertained, you know? So, I mean, like, yeah, if we're going straight up court jester, I'll keep whoever the king is happy.
I don't know enough about, like, if I'm looking at well-known celebrities or celebrities in general of, like, who knows those type of things. Like, I know I'd have Ronda Rousey.
Yeah,
Because
that's fair.
physical, but also
She seems ready for a zombie
her and
apocalypse
Travis.
anyway.
They have like their own barn that
Yeah.
they like grow everything. They have all the animals. I think they have like a gun range there. They have all these. So
Everything.
I'd start there. Where
good
I'd
start.
go from there, I don't know.
Don't know.
Now, if you were like, what people would you have like start a business with you? I have my random like crew there
Oh, yeah, I
because
know.
I know enough people in that realm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I feel like I know part of that list.
but as far as like to kill some zombies, I don't know. I don't know. I know I'd need like somebody with a green thumb, like somebody who.
Somebody go garden. Because, yeah, you need the person to kill the zombies. You need the person who can navigate you. You need the person who can build things. You need the person who has the green thumb so that way you can be fed and, always have water and things like that.
I could think of like Jennifer Garner, because I believe, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure who we get she has the company Farm Fresh to You, who we get our produce through.
Okay.
So I feel like that's right. So that would probably be like the green thumb of it.
Fair.
When it comes to that.
Fair.
But
Okay.
I don't know who like knows how to shoot bow and arrows or anything
either.
like that.
I don't know either. So, last question, I think, here before we ride off into the sunset, like wrestling-wise, where WWE's at right now. What are you hoping to see in the near future? I know we've got Money in the Bank coming up. So what are you looking forward to seeing in the near future?
That's a good question. Well, I did see, I think today, that Stephanie Valcourt. Oh, that was what we need to talk about. Stephanie Valcourt is bumped up to the main roster, and she is wrestling this Monday for a Money in the Bank spot.
Oh, okay.
So that'd be dope.
Yes.
I don't hate that.
That would be dope.
I mean, I'm always stoked about the women's matches.
Women's matches are great. They're getting their own like pay-per-view event thingy, whatever it's called, premium live event, you know, so they're getting their own. So hopefully that is the first step in them getting their own night individually, because they've been putting on such solid matches. So yeah, that would be great.
Obviously, I love the team of Logan Paul and John Cena. I am obsessed with that team.
It's a good team.
But again, I've been a Logan Paul fan since he started, and I know I'm one of the few
Just
that are.
because, yeah, he's a smart businessman. Like,
He's a smart businessman, but also, like, and this is where I think Logan, at least in the physical realm, is more talented than Jake.
Yeah.
Because look what he's been able to do in such a short amount of time with his matches. Like, you can say what you want about him as a YouTuber, and if he got handed something, and da-da-da-da-da. Because if we're going to talk about people getting handed something, we talk about Charlotte Flair. So I don't want to hear it. Logan Paul puts his money where his mouth is when it comes to his talent.
Yeah.
His matches are never boring.
No.
They're never boring.
No, they're not.
And so I love, and even the little bit that we saw on SmackDown, where it's Logan Paul wanting to talk all this shit and be a big dog, and John Cena's like, well, I got nothing to prove. I've already done that. And they kind of have their like moment at each other. And so that was entertaining to me. And so I'm very intrigued on how that works in Money in the Bank, where Logan does want to do the work and put in the matches and be the entertainment. And John Cena's like, I've been doing it for 20 plus years. I don't need to be the entertainment anymore because I'm trying to ruin wrestling.
This is very
so
true.
it's very, that I'm very entertained by.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, we'll see how it all unfolds. We got a lot of stuff coming up, and we'll be right back at you to talk more about all those things as they unfold. So that being said, I'm Miles Weber.
I'm Heather Weber.
And we'll see you next time on the My Wife Loves Wrestling podcast.